Hey y'all, so I'm going to show you how to make the memorial ornament with the wings. This was the first one that I made. First, you're going to take the top off of your disc ornament. I get these from Michael's. You get 25 of them for 20 bucks, but they're always on sale, so it's always cheaper than that. So you'll take your disc ornament, your cup. Hold on, throwing everything everywhere. And your polyacrylic. So when I make these, I normally put a lot of polyacrylic in here only because I make a bunch of them at a time, and I'll just pour what's in this cup into the next ornament, so on and so forth, and keep it going. I'm only making one because I already made them. I'm just showing you how only showing you guys how I do them. All right, so I take the polyacrylic, I pour it in there. That's way too much, but you get the point. Then you just spray it around, and then I'll push it into the cup. And as you can see, it's dripping out of there. And then we're gonna let that sit for a while until you can kind of see it's like a bluish, and it's gonna be more of like a translucent. And then if you pull it out, it's way too soon, but it's going to pull up in the shoulders of that ornament. And you're gonna want to tip it either direction to try and get that out. So we're gonna let that sit for a while. Let that drip. This is what it will look like once you put the glitter in there. And then this is an ornament that I made last year, and it's still perfect. All right, so let me think. I guess we can go over what we need while that's dripping. So the paper that I use is a water slide paper, and I get it off of Amazon. This is the only water slide paper I have ever used, and I've never had any issues. Make sure it's clear. If it's not clear, you're going to be able to see that it's a hunk of paper that's on the top of your ornament. The clear, as you can see, you can't see the paper. That's super blurry. I apologize. See if I can get it to focus. Nope. Okay, well, you guys get the point. Okay, water slide paper. It's like $15. Comes with 20 sheets. And when I print these out, I can get anywhere from 6 to 8 on one sheet of paper. So that's pretty good for the price. Okay, so we need those. You'll need clear spray paint. Very, very important. You need clear spray paint. You'll need to do 3 coats to spray over your water slide for it to, I guess, it kind of turns into like a tattoo, is what I can say. So you'll need 3 coats of the spray paint. Polyacrylic. Obviously, this is the kind that I use. Clear gloss. No issues. This is like $25, $27 at Walmart. Glue sticks. This is the kind that I use. You don't necessarily have to use the Gorilla brand. They're pretty well all the same thing. That's what I use. You'll obviously need, poke your face in the face, need a hot glue gun. And then the wings. I buy them already done. I get these on Amazon too. And it is like trying to find a needle in a haystack, trying to find these on Amazon. So when you find them, buy them all if you can, or you won't have any. So this is the one that I use. This is what the package says. It came with 30 of them in there. And let's see. I'll look and see if I can find the name. But they're so hard to find, it's ridiculous. I don't understand. They were easy to find, and now I guess everybody's making them, and they've literally bought them all out. Okay, we're not gonna do that right now. Okay, so this has been pretty well sitting for a while. long enough. I'm sure are done listening to me. So I take a paper towel, wrap it up, and then when I take it out, I'll take it off of this part. It drives me crazy when it gets all clumped up. You don't necessarily have to do that. It's just, I don't know, it drives me absolutely insane to see it all caked up right there. So I wipe each one down. So then once I do that, I'll take my glitter. You don't have to keep it in this little type of container. I poured it in cup last year. Poured it into cups last year. My Lord. And I wasted so much, and it was just a pain in the rear end. So I pour, again, a lot in there. And then I'll just shake it. That's probably super nauseating trying to watch this on your phone, so I apologize. But I just shake it, move it around so it gets all the sides. Then you get another cup, an empty one. And once you're done shaking it, you kind of look to make sure that it's coated on all sides. And then you'll tap it into your cup. I'm a little rough on mine, only because if you don't get a lot of the extra off, it will clump up and it will be a darker white, and you'll be able to see it. Now, if it's on the back side, you can hide it up with the wings, and it won't really make much of a difference. But if it's on both sides, then they're going to be able to see it on one side or the other. So this is what it looks like when it's done. Leave the top off. If you put the top on right now, they spread out, and it's going to gouge it off of here, and then they'll be able to see that when the ornament's done. But if you wait, I wait at least 24 hours, it will be completely dry, and when you put it in there, it will just run across it, and it's not going to scratch it all up. All right, so that's how I prepare my ornaments. I'm going to pause the video, and then I'm going to get ready to show you how I do the water slide. So I will be right back. Okay, so I have a Pyrex container. Let me see if I can pick it up without showing you this whole mess. Pyrex container full of water. I use warm water because, like I said, I make quite a few of them. Dipping your hand into cold water is not too satisfying. So I use lukewarm water. Cut these up into squares with their name, the picture, and the saying on there. And then I cut them all individually. So I'll take the picture and I'll cut it out. It does not have to be perfect. You know, it can have the white showing if you use clear. If you use white, you cannot. You have to make sure that they're perfect. So I just cut it like that. Set that aside. I'll cut the name. Jeez. And then I'll cut around it just so there's not too much. With the disc ornament, there is a groove in it, so it's not like a flat ornament. So it is a little challenging to get these papers to lay flat. The trick is once I cut it, there's a space in between these sentences. So I will cut a piece of that out so that there is space for it to move around when we put it on the ornament, and then it won't overlap or wrinkle. It'll just look like this. And then I will cut around his name. My gosh, I'm so sorry. Me sniffing is probably driving y'all up the wall. Okay, so I use an upside down Mod Podge container and a piece of electrical tape, or a roll of it, to hold my ornament. I'm extremely tall. I'm 6'2", so it's very hard to lean over the table and make all of these. So I set it up just like this. The little groove goes right into the hole. And then I put all three into the water. So they're gonna roll up like so. And I just push it into the water to make sure that they all get submerged. It doesn't take too long of them sitting here for them to become loose to the back. As you can see, it's already coming off. So we'll let that sit there. The first piece that I grab is the Because Someone We Love Is in Heaven. You can see it sliding off the back. And I'll just put it on the ornament. And then I will start to hold it down and pull it to try and get all of the bubbles out. And it's gonna take a little bit of maneuvering around. There's like a sweet spot in this ornament where you can get it so that it lays flat. So I work it with my fingers. I wear gloves because the roughness of our hands, if they are rough, can tear your water slide. And after you've made it this far, you really don't want the water slide to tear when you're so close for it to being done. Yeah! All right, so move that around. Make sure it's straight. I know you can't really see what I'm doing, and I apologize for that. I don't have this set up to be making professional videos. As you can tell, I am not professional at all. All right, of course, it being on video, this wants to be a pain in the rear. So I just lay it flat, keep on working on it. Don't rush it. Take your time. And then once I get it to kind of where I want to go, then I'll get a paper towel. And then I'll start flattening it out with a paper towel. They're very, very delicate. You have to be very careful. All right, I think I got it. Okay. I didn't get it. My nose is driving me crazy. So then I'll hold it down, and while I'm holding it down, see that just moved? I'll gently press down with the paper towel to get the moisture out and for it to stick to the paper. I mean to the ornament. I do not use a whole lot of pressure. Okay, almost got that. Okay, so it's on there. This is what it will look like. Oh, I got a wrinkle. You guys get the point. Okay, so then that's in there. After I put the words, I'll put his picture or the picture. And then I'll do the same thing. I'll put it on there, and then I'll grab the top and the bottom, and I'll kind of pull it very gently to try and get all those air bubbles out. And then I'll hold the bottom and then rub the top just to get it all smoothed out. Now the pictures are much easier to put on than the words. So then I'll hold it, and then I'll rub it with the paper towel again to make sure I get all that water off. Make sure there's no wrinkles, because once it dries, it's stuck. It's not coming off unless you scrape it. You'd have to deliberately want it to come off for it to come off. So then that's on there. And then we'll grab his name and put the name at the bottom. Grab it by the middle and squeegee it out to the left and to the right to, again, get that water out. I'll lift it up, make sure that it's centered and it looks okay. Once that I see that it's centered, looks okay, I'll grab my paper towel, start from the middle, pull to the right, then I'll turn it, start from the middle, pull to the left. Just to make sure, again, get all the water out so that it can get a good connection to the ornament. And then I'll go through and I'll just wipe everything down, look at it again, make sure that there's no bubbles and that everything's laying flat. And then I'll set it aside. And then that's that for putting the water slide on. So let me get my heat gun, not my heat gun, Jesus Christ, my hot glue gun all set up, and then I will come back and show you how I put the wings on. Okay, now grab our rings. And then each pair of wings comes with a string. I cut the string off because we're going to move it. We're going to use the same string though. So I cut the string off. I'm careful on to not cut the feathers. So then we'll put that aside. And then I'll look at the feathers and I'll see if there's like a bad side. Sometimes there's a lot of stems. You'll obviously want to put that side, gluing it to the ornament so that they can't see. Even though it's going to be butted up onto the tree, they're not going to be able to see the back side. You still want to make sure they're getting a product that looks decent. Okay, so I will cut that off, make sure that the side that we're going to glue looks okay. Then I'll sit it down. I don't think you can see. Kinda. Okay, so we sit it down. And then I kind of get an idea of where we're going to sit it. So once we do that, I'll take the glue and then I'll put a nice little amount all the way across. And once we do that, make sure there's no stragglers. I'll take the ornament, I'll sit it down, pick it up, and then I'll like hug the wings around the ornament. As you can see, we want it to go all the way around. And then you'll hold it there for a few minutes. Take a look, see if you can see. Sometimes the feathers come apart. Just hit it with a little dab of some of the hot glue and then hold it down and you'll put it right back into place. It's not hot. Okay, so I'm glad it did this to this ornament, so I wanted to see. So as you can see, there's like a gap and it doesn't particularly look all that great. So what I'll do is I'll stick my glue gun deep in there because you don't want it to be visible. And then once I squeeze it in there, I'll hold it real tight. And then you just want to basically hold it until it dries. So hug it, squeeze it. I got really big hands. Like I said, I'm 6'2". Maybe you need both hands. But just make sure it curves all the way around. You want it to be as formed to the ornament as possible. Okay, so now that that's off, I fluff it up, make sure it looks okay, give it a little 360, and there you go. That's how you make your ornament. All right, let's think. Oh, I had a lady ask. So for this, the whole thing as a square is 2.688 by 2.198. Now when I'm piecing them together, this is already done. It's saved because everybody gets that, well, pretty well everybody gets the same thing. The oval that I use to cut out of the image that they send me is 1.005 inches by 1.537 inches, and that's the oval. I use that as a template. I put it over the image, I slice it, and that's how I do it. the words, if you want them to be bigger, smaller, whatever. The size that I use for my words is 1.797 by 1.694. And then for their names are 1.846 by 0.395. Now that can be adjusted. You see how about the size it is for theirs. And then, let's see. I think that was it. Oh, I guess I can show you this. I don't want to put it on yet. But, so, the string that we take off of the wings, I'll then put on the top of the ornament. Whoop. So I'm going to put it on top of the ornament. And then we'll just tie a little bow. Not a bow, just a knot. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just talking out of my rear end today. So hopefully you guys can feed through my nonsense and pick out how to make an ornament. I've never made a video, as you can tell. So I apologize for how I am just all over the place. Oh my goodness. You gotta be kidding me right now. We got one side. And we got a kid trying to break in the back. Hi.